Okay, I'm going to add a couple of elements to this drawing. I'm going to insert shape. And this time I'm going to add a cloud. And then you can change the color to it. I'm going to add this gradient. And I'm going to add another shape. Okay. Now this is going to be a circle. The only thing is, if you can make an oval, different shapes, but in order to get it straight, let me show you how to do that. You can click on the shift. Okay, so let me go back to oval, click on shift, and see that'll make it a perfect circle. So I'm clicking shift as I'm adjusting the color. Okay, so since this is going to be an animation, I'm going to have it just scoot it back just a little bit, and I'm going to change to a different gradient as well for this one. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to be moving these objects. See, right now we only have one slide. You're going to be duplicating the slide, and then you're going to be adding you're going to be moving each object that you want to be like animated. You're going to be moving each one just a little bit. Okay, so this is going to be the starting point. So I'm going to click here, and I'm going to do Control D. Notice it created it created a whole new other slide right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose each object, and with the arrow keys I'm just going to move it just slightly. So for this one I'm going to move it slightly to the left. I'll do the same thing with this, to the right, this to the left, this to the right. Okay, now that I moved everything just a little bit, I'm going to do it again. So I'm going to go on this one, hit Control D. Okay, and there's my new slide. And notice how the orange is around it. That means that's the slide that you're on right now. So I'm going to do it again. Just like the old animation used to be done. Just little movements. Okay, this is pretty repetitive. But the smaller the movements, the more smooth that it's going to become. Okay, so I'm going to move it just a little bit more. Same thing, just the keys, select the object. Okay, I'm moving with the arrow, on the keyboard. Okay, Control D. Do the same thing. Move it, move it over, move it over. Okay, back here, Control D. See, we're already on 6 slides. Just slightly move it. The arrow keys I think work best because it's a very, very small movement. Control D. Just like that. Okay, now for the rest of this video I'm going to keep working on this, but I'm going to fast forward this section just so that it moves a little bit faster. I am going to be moving this sphere up and down a little bit. Remember that if you accidentally move it away from where you want it, you can always hit undo and go back to the position where you started on that particular slide. Okay, so notice there's just a little bit of movement when I go between each slide. See that? Okay, I'm going to hit Control D, and I'm just going to keep going. Now just to show you really quick, before I keep moving, I'm going to go back to the top, and I'm going to hit the down arrow so that you can see the movement that all the objects are doing. Okay, so I'm going to go back to number 1. Okay, so we're on number 8 right there. There's nothing on 7 and 8 yet, or nothing on 8. Okay. So I'll go back, up and down with the arrow keys just to move between the slides. Okay, so we're going to keep moving each one of these by just a little bit. Remember to use the arrow keys. Control D to duplicate. Okay, here I'm almost to the end. As you can see, it looks like the cloud is getting a little bit closer. The way I'm doing that, remember Control D duplicates. Hold on a second, I'm sorry. I need to duplicate the slide. I'm gonna go over and then just grab the corner and make it just a little bigger. These vehicles are still going away from each other. Remember, Control D duplicates it. Over, a little bigger. And this sphere is about to fall down this way. Now, if you notice, some of these objects are kind of going outside of our plane where we were adding our objects. You can look here. This is what it's going to actually look like over here on this side. Okay. So even though it's in this gray area, it won't be seen once we actually create the GIF. Okay, now that you've added all of your slides, you can see here that I had 183. And I'm going to go to the very top, start up here, and I'm just going to do the down arrow on my keyboard. You can see that every time I move it, they all just move a little bit. Now the faster I move it, the more smooth that it kind of becomes. And if I pretty much just hold it down, see, there it goes all the way to the end. Now I'm going to go backwards. And I'm just holding down the back key, and here I'm holding the forward key. So you just kind of see, you know, even though it's 183 slides, it's moving through it, pretty fast, and it becomes kind of a smooth picture. Anyway, so notice the cloud does seem to kind of get bigger, and it's just because it's coming towards us. Well, it looks like it's coming towards us, but it really is just getting a little bit bigger, and I'm moving it just slightly to the left. Anyhow, all right, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go to a website, and it's called Tall Tweets. And let me just get to it real quick. Okay, so here's a website. It's called talltweets.com. You're going to click on it, and you're going to be logging in with your Google account. Now mine says select presentation, but yours will probably say log in with a Google account. So you're going to click on your Google account. You're going to choose your teachers at fwist.org account. Okay, so I'm going to click select presentation, and you're going to look for the presentation. Mine's right here. It says stop motion animation, so I'm going to click on it. I'm going to hit select. This takes just a few seconds because it is kind of a large presentation. It takes just a minute, but I'll probably fast forward through this. Okay, so that kind of took a little bit of time. So here it is. It's going to create a GIF. So it says GIF image width in pixels, slide duration, sequence of slides. So I'm going to put it at about, I don't know, let's say about 800, the width, and slide duration. I want it to go pretty quick, so I'm going to say you can do like 1 second, but that would be kind of slow. So I'm actually going to do about see if it lets me do 0.2 seconds. And the sequence of slides, it's just going to go in order. Okay, so then you click here, it says create a GIF. So because my file has 180 slides, it is going to take a few seconds. Okay, so you can see with the 0.2, it still moves kind of slow. I think it's a little bit slow. So I'm going to try to make one that's just a little bit faster. So I'm going to turn this up. You notice when I put it at 800, some of my colors, you know, they get a little bit kind of wonky there. So I don't know if it's going to make a difference, but I'm going to put it up to 1200. And I'm going to say 0.1 seconds. And I'm going to create another GIF. Now while that's processing, if you scroll down just a little bit further, here's where you can save. Okay, you can save it right here. Okay, so this one at 1200, the pixels, and at 0.1, you can see it moves a little bit faster. The colors are about the same. Pretty cool. So yeah, so then you would click down here where it says save. So I'm just going to leave it for now on here. I'm going to hit save. So you'll see it's downloading, and it'll download it to your documents, okay, down here at the bottom. And this is the file right here. That's the file that you'll actually put into, let me drag this over here. There we go. So this is just like a picture file. And this is the file that you'll put into of it. I'll find, oh, here it is, file info. So this is about almost 20 megabytes, so it's kind of sort of a big file, but there you can see the dimensions of it. Anyhow, hope you had fun making one of these. Well, hopefully you make one of these. It does take a little bit of time, but you can make some really pretty cool creative things with it, and you know, you can be as creative as you want. Anyhow, go ahead and attach it once you get a chance, and that way you can complete this part of the assignment. Thank you very much.